We're finally returning to Rebirth Island with some never before seen footage of my highest kill game ever, alongside my 1000th win on the map that I never uploaded on YouTube. But I thought, what better way to react to this content while also talking about the leaks that are coming to Warzone 3 and MW3. And drop a like when you guys hear this. The fan favorite slide canceling is rumored and is slowly starting to come out as leaks. We'll be returning in a new edition of Warzone that's set to release in just a couple months here. And it's not just that leak that's going to get you guys excited, but a bunch more we're going to be talking about in today's video. But I also wanted to touch up on my own wish list and things that I might want to see return, maybe from Warzone 1, things we have never seen before in Call of Duty, but doing that while, you know, spectating the best game ever, in my personal opinion, Call of Duty Warzone 1, especially with Rebirth Island. But let's first talk about that first leak, because it's a big one. Slide canceling, as you guys are going to see me doing in this video, is set to return, and it actually came this leak from FaZe Swag. Now, FaZe Swag, Lovely Low, TP, and maybe another content creator recently just received a package from Call of Duty themselves, and they received 3 items in this before MW3's logo was revealed. And those 3 items were slides, a can, and a cell phone. Now, when you have all those objects together, it really doesn't, you know, it just people started to pick up on is if you take slide, add the can, add the cell phone, we have slide, can, cell. Now, if this is the biggest fade ever, then the Warzone community is going to be in shambles. But Call of Duty is known to not go overboard with these leaks, and they kind of, you know, like to hint at fan favorites. And we know how big slide canceling was a part of the community. And now with Sledgehammer taking over, which was the creators of, you know, some of the fan favorite bundles, they added all the stim boosting slides, the movement perks you used to pick up on Caldera, the Godzilla versus King Kong event. We could actually have some faith in the company now to make the appropriate changes, so a lot of the OG players, maybe like yourself, could be returning. And it's not just that got rumored, and we'll talk about that here in a second. But let's kind of go down the list of the things that I personally would love to see return from Warzone 1 as we spectate, again, this beautiful gameplay. This is my PR ever. But one of the things I would love to see return, you'll see it here after this elimination, is floating loot. I know it's not much, I know it's not realism, but floating loot had things happen and made looting so easy, so stress-free. You would be able to kind of, you know, get an elimination or run up on loot and kind of already know what you're picking up as you approach that body or that piece of loot or that crate. Nowadays, the loot kind of stacks on top of each other, sometimes piles up into a little bunch, and you just got to keep picking stuff up until you find out what you want. In my personal opinion, just like that, and a couple other mechanics we'll talk about here in a second, feels like Warzone 2 took a step back, and maybe it adds some more realism to the DMZ or the raids that I'm not a fan of, don't play, maybe you guys do. But the overall core of the game being Warzone multiplayer and Resurgence, it kind of hurts the community and slows down the gameplay completely, which is a reason I think a lot of people haven't returned to Warzone 2. And I see it a lot in my comments that a lot of people love watching the videos, but they don't really play themselves, just because a lot of it has to do with the personality of their gameplay. And it's as if you were to put a, you know, take away my voice and face cam on a Warzone 2 gameplay, most of that will look like anybody else's. There's no style, there's no personality anymore, especially with movement being gone. Sniping as well, the versatility of loadouts, like it seems like everyone's just using the same 2 guns in Warzone 2, and hopefully we can see that change in the upcoming Warzone that's actually set to release here soon. So as more leaks coming up, make sure you guys sub so you guys know and can keep up all to date with it. But going down the list as well, the fast ADS time is something, but I would also like, on that same note, let's get rid of some of the tuning. I'm not a fan of tuning completely, and I could be completely, you know, by myself on this one, but I think tuning is just overcomplicated. I'm somebody who plays the game, you know, 6, 7, 8 hours a day, and it still confuses me to the point. I think you should maybe tune 1, maybe 2 attachments. The sights are a good idea, and maybe special ammos like your OP rounds, incendiary. But for the most part, like, just even if it was just a sight, it's more than enough. We already have to deal with like 8 slots of attachments, thousands. I mean, thousands, dude. There's like 100 different sights, 100 different barrels, 100 different grips, and they almost do the same exact thing, and it confuses me as a player. So if we can kind of, you know, slow that down, I like it that we could use different weapons and not have to worry about all these crazy attachments. Would be nice to see return as well. Something you'll see here that I would love to see is also the stim play. In a second, you'll see me pick up some stims, and it was a good way to get out of fight, to approach a fight, to disengage or engage, all that good stuff. And it added, you know, the option of outplaying an opponent or trying to get away. It was good for bad players, good for good players. You know, it gave up different slots, right? You weren't able to rock the stuns or the smokes and stuff like that, but it was a choice. And I think Warzone is all about choices. You want to choose what loadout you have, and, you know, it might have some advantages here, not there. And the same thing with your tacticals and lethals. And for right now, it just really everyone's rocking smokes and, you know, throwing out some Resurgence or drill charges in big map. And it just has come so repetitive and it's so slow that it's become pretty stale in my personal opinion. So hopefully we can see stims back in the mix. It would add more, you know, a lot more cooler clips. You would see, you know, Face Swag getting clips and Neo, all the Resurgence guys. Especially with sniping as well. I mentioned Neo. I would love to see returning as well, like the Car 98K. The snipers right now, I'm not a big sniper. I used to be back in the day when I played Rebirth Island. It was fast, quick, and, you know, rewarding. Nowadays, it's just seems to be a burden to pick up a sniper. And if one shot, if you even land a shot, but on top of that, with all the fog now and stuff like that, sniping's pretty dead, in my personal opinion. And so is movement. Hopefully, we can see returning both the movement and sniping community coming in from Warzone 1 onto Warzone 2. Another thing are the maps. Now, Rebirth Island is going to be gone soon. Well, it's gone already, but Warzone 1 as itself is going to be gone here in September. If you guys don't know, their servers are officially shutting down forever. Now, we'll never get the one-to-one feel that we did back in the day, but we can recreate something better and something better for the future. But that's mainly on the mechanic side. I do think we can see a return of the Rebirth Island and Verdansk. And, you know, Verdansk towards the last, after season 3 or 4, kind of went downhill. But I would love to see different variants of the map return. Similar to how we have Nuketown. We've had 10, 15 different Nuketowns, but everyone's different. It reskins. It plays pretty much the same, but it adds a different experience on it. At least just a little bit. And I think it would be nice to see a return of 4 total maps, 2 Resurgence, 2 big maps, and, you know, have the fan favorite Rebirth and Verdansk return and maybe reskin it. Maybe a futuristic Verdansk, a futuristic Rebirth plays exactly the same, but you have like neon lights, a Tokyo from the future type vibe, you know, not too many buildings. And, you know, you could rework downtown in Verdansk. You know, Vondel plays pretty well. There are some rooftop campers, but at least you're able to jump from rooftop to rooftop. Downtown really wasn't like that. So if they could kind of take what they learned over the last 3 years and improve on what they know did good, aka Verdansk and Rebirth, I think we could have something crazy. And I might be asking for much. You know, if we don't get Verdansk and Rebirth back, at least have map rotation, which they slowly started experimenting with Vondel. Vondel is now in rotation with Ashika Island, and I don't play Ashika Island because the colors are very bland and depressing. But if there was 2 good maps, it'd be cool to kind of freshen up every time you play something, similar to how Apex Legends does that. But again, the maps have to be good, because if not, just like it is right now, I'm only gonna want to play one map, and whatever game mode or playlist size that's playing on, I'm gonna play. And me being able to play by myself on Twitch or when I'm doing YouTube videos for you guys, I'll play solos, duos, trios, or quads. But if I want to play with friends and it's not there and I have to play Ashika, I just won't play. So hopefully they can improve on having some good maps and some good colors too. Rebirth Island has slowly started experimenting with that, with the sunset, different daytime cycle. I thought it was sick. I know Vondel and the DMZ maps are experimenting with fog. I'm not a fan of fog, but I do love weather. And that's something I actually kind of liked coming in from Warzone 2. The weather aspect, I think it'd be cool to have something simple as just a morning to night cycle. You would start the game off in the morning, and as the gameplay goes on all the way to end game, once you're 6th zone, the sun's starting to set. And if you get to 7th, 8th zone, which is the final zone ever on Resurgence, you're playing nighttime. So it's only like the last zone. It's only rare. For the most part, 90% of your time, you're going to be playing in the daytime. A nice little sunset where the sky's red and blue. It would be nice. Again, am I asking for too much? Yes. Is it easy to do? It feels like on the outside looking in. Another thing, as you guys just saw, is the buy station. The buy stations are calm. The buy stations weren't anything crazy back in the day. They were just simple. Pick it up, place, UAV, loadout. That's it. Nowadays, you could buy stuns, flashes. There's like 1 gas mask per buy. It's just... We've gotten to the point where they overcomplicated a simple system, and instead of it being cooler or whatever their interpretation of it wanting to be, it's now just become so overcomplicated and stressful that half the time, if I get shot at once at the buy station, I know I'm not going to buy anything, and I know I'm going to have to deal with, you know, most likely die, especially with the TTK in the game. Back then, you see me hit a slide, hit it, boom, gone. And that's what I find a lot of success in. As I create these videos, what players like to see and how they play, and how you guys, you know, I read all your guys' comments, and it kind of always comes back to one thing, which ties into the buy station. It's momentum. Whether you're a fast player or slow player, any player that has a disruption in their tempo of how they play, whether you play fast or slow, whatever speed it is, once there's a disruption, it creates frustration. So, you know, the stins were able to speed stuff up. Or disengage to slow things down, but the buy stations were quick and easy. Simple things as like hitting a zip line back in the day, or you know, fall damage like this. Like I would just keep going. Now you take a little damage, your character slows down completely. You hit a buy station, you have to solve a math equation before even purchasing anything. You pop a UAV, it takes 3 to 5 business days. You have to call 5 people before you can get a UAV popped up in the air. And so all that kind of like frustrates a gamer, especially if it coming in from Resurgence. Let me know what you guys play in the comments. I'm a big Resurgence and big map guy that, you know, other than me, maybe if I was playing DMZ, I would understand. But for it being, you know, game mode I know and love, small map, it just adds more of a complication that I don't need and I don't want to return. But what I'm excited for though, with Sledgehammer's taking over, and again, we saw it back in the end of Caldera, live events. I hope we're able to see some live events, and there's one rumor I want to talk about coming back. It's the original Haunting of Verdansk that is set to return in Warzone 2.5, we'll call it, or MW3. Now, we don't know if it's going to be on Verdansk or not, but the game mode itself has been rumored, or the LTM, to be returning, and I thought by far it was the #1 LTM. Yeah, the Haunting of Verdansk was #1 for me. The Boys, which was recently, I thought was fun. Great LTM is #2. And then, honestly, Godzilla versus King Kong, although I didn't play it all the time, it was still a great experience to go. It was hype. A lot of people tuned in for it. I think it even was like the #1 trending thing. And after seeing what Fortnite does, they have Travis Scott, Marshmello, Ariana Grande concerts, Obama's doing speeches. I don't know. They're doing all this crazy stuff, man. It'd be cool to see Call of Duty do it. They got the money, right? They sell 2,400 COD point bundles. They got the money. It's all about using those resources to improve and make a game that we know and love. Such as, you know, Rebirth Island maybe having a live event, and seeing game mode, party modes on Resurgence as well. We should add prop hunt to Resurgence. Like, how fun would that be to be a prop, and as the circle slowly closes, you know, you got to continuously change a prop. There's my high kill game. Let's jump into the 1,000 kill game and continue the story. But like I said, seeing party modes return like prop hunt, even infected over on the big map or Resurgence, I think would be a lot of fun. And honestly, one of my favorite things to do is just to have a good time. Now it just seems so stressful that you're always constantly playing with skill-based matchmaking through the roof. And even if you get like 5-10 kills, you're now getting shadow banned. I see all your comments as well. I've been talking to Call of Duty actively to get that fixed. But like, with that being said, it's like, hopefully, you know, we could have some fun again, you know, and it's not always just so stressful, because, you know, I play all the time, man, and it's like, yes, I put a lot of time in, but I'm constantly playing in sweaty lobbies. As you guys see, sometimes I'll have a good game, sometimes I won't, but skill-based matchmaking is just through the wazoo. And, you know, it'd be cool to return to a game mode that's just fun. Like this, the Boys playlist was fun, you know, I was solo squatting, have a good time jumping around and stuff like that. But, you know, that also came down with movement mechanics as well. Another thing I would like to see return, as the weapons are going to continuously push through, is new bundles. I'm somebody, I like to spend money in the game, and I like to, it's a bit of me adding personality to my gameplay, similar to how I did with movement back on Rebirth Island, or even the hand gestures as well, which I might do in this gameplay, is, you know, having those like bundles that aren't milsim. Now, I know a lot of you guys might be, you know, like the milsim skins, but like somebody like me, you know, they're good to have a balance of both. You either want milsim or you want something that's crazy pop. Right now, we don't have a balance of either. It's just milsim, or maybe a little bit less than milsim. The craziest thing we've gotten was the Izzy skin, and it definitely popped out, and it definitely looks cool. And now with the elemental packs coming in, those are cool as well. But it seems like they don't want to stray too far away from having crazy Fortnite-like bundles. And in my personal opinion, if it's not what they want to do with the character, that's fine, but the weapons as well. Back in the day, we used to have guns you would spectate and they would float, shoot lasers out. You inspect one and you have a skull flying around and would bite your finger, or, you know, you would assassinate somebody and you would literally grab their feet and bring them down to like hell. And it's like, it was crazy, you know. Not all the time are you gonna get assassination, but when you did, it was that cool, and it made you want to do it, and it added personality. One of some of my most viral clips on TikTok were just getting a nasty movement kill and assassinating somebody with a crazy assassination no one's ever seen before. And that's kind of what added personality to my gameplay and my channel as well. And so hopefully they could add something like that, because I know back home, you guys, even if you guys don't have a lot of money or only buy maybe 1 or 2 bundles, you guys want to buy something that at least is going to make you guys stand out. Or you guys are want to buy something that's going to be not reused. They've reused so many bundles from Warzone 1, the plain ones, onto Warzone 2, which I've already talked to them and said how disrespectful that was. Let's just get something fresh into Warzone 2, something new, something crazy. Again, they have the money to do so. It's just about doing it, man. And hopefully we see some creator skins as well. You guys saw Face Swag skin got leaked. He talked about that. We had Nick Merckx's bundle, as well as Tim the Tabman, which came and went. but maybe even seeing the return creator bundles I think would be a lot of fun. Now, going down the list of some of the leaks that are coming as we queue into our last 1000th win, which is an insane endgame. Reload cancel. Now, if you're a casual player or don't really know what reload cancel is, you'll see it a lot in this gameplay where you might get a kill and you're reloading and another kill approaches. And, you know, with right there, exactly what it is. I was reloading a 72 mag from 57 and I got shot. So I had to cancel my reload and get back into the fight. Now, it's not always going to work. Sometimes you just have not enough ammo at all. And so when you cancel the reload, you don't shoot the bullets, you know, you can't get the kill, not enough bullets and stuff like that. But Warzone 2, you can't reload cancel. Once you start reload, you have to finish that. So if I get shot at while getting reloading in Warzone 2, I need to find a safe area on the map and finish that reload, which if you're getting shot at, it's not going to happen. Warzone 1, however, you see it so many times used to help, especially taking on 1, 2, 3, 4 guys at once. That's what she said. So that is rumored to be returning alongside the classic mini-map. Now, again, let me know in the comments if you guys play Resurgence, Big Map, DMZ, Raids, or even multiplayer, ranked play, whatever it may be. My multiplayer people, the classic minimap is returning. Now, right now, there's like no red dots on the minimap. You could shoot even an unsuppressed weapon and you just won't pop up. And it kind of, you know, goes and helps out one type of player. There's many different types of players who play Call of Duty. The casual players, which are your sentinel gamers who don't play a lot. They just play for fun here and there, whatever. You have your aggressive players, I would say myself, who just like to rush, get kills, be flashing, and stuff like that. Your snipers and so on. But in Warzone 2, we only kind of cater towards one type of player, and that type of player was the casual sentinels. And, you know, although they promised to cater towards everybody, they kind of lied to us in that department. And that's fine and all, but at the end of the day, skill-based matchmaking already protects those players. They're going up against people of their skill level. And so when you're at a higher skill or you put more time into the game and you're constantly playing against people your skill level, it just doesn't feel like there's really any like collision of skills. It's just like whoever gets lucky. And positioning and having a decent shot is really all it takes. And there's not much. Back in the day, there was a much higher skill gap. And so hopefully, you know, with things like the classic minimap, reload cancel, movement and returning, we could actually have a little bit more skill. And for the casual players, essential players, you guys are still fine. Skill-based matching will protect you. You guys won't know the difference. If anything, it'll help you guys out because all the time you guys are putting in, even if it's just a few hours a week or a month, you guys will slowly improve at your guys' own pace. And when it's time to improve, you have many mechanics to learn that you don't have to do. But if you're trying to spice up your gameplay, you can. So that'll be great as well. Now, there is some more leaks I'm actually going to pull up on my phone coming in from Charlie Intel that he actually mentioned. And again, also seeing the PDS, which you guys saw endgame, and we'll see it probably in this gameplay as well to help make this endgame smoke plays, will be nice. Kind of crazy to see return as well. But with that being said, the Ninja Return perk should be coming as well. I think that's great for multiplayer and rank play in the CDL community, even though Scumpy's not playing anymore. But as far as like Resurgence and, you know, Battle Royale or anything, even DMZ, I don't think it should be in the game because we already struggle with the audio of the game. How many times do you guys get in a fight and you're like, yo, wait, where is he? Didn't hear him? Well, that's a result of just bad audio. So now that you have a perk that completely eliminates it, it will cause, I think, a bit of frustration for the Battle Royale community. So hopefully they could learn to adjust that as well. Perks are now going to be gear. If you guys don't know what that means, you're going to have a helmet, chest, gloves, and boots. Now, those are basically, don't get it confused, just going to mimic perk slots 1, 2, 3, and 4. Your helmet will probably, you know, prevent one-shot headshots, maybe prevent ghosts. You know, the plate vest, which we got slowly introduced right now in Warzone 2, like tempered. You have ghost perk, you have the enhanced UAV, and then your boots. I think that's where the movement's going to come in. I think if you use a certain boot, you might have a speed boost, you might have faster sprint time, longer sprint time, like marathon, maybe no fall damage, like falling, or, you know, feather falling or stuff like that. And gloves, maybe fast hands, reload cancel. I don't know. I just hope that it's not so dependent that the core mechanics are still able to do what we do and we don't have to run like the same 4 perks just to have fluid movement. So hopefully they can adjust that. And then going down the list as well, war mode will be returning. If you guys are a fan of multi, that was from World War II, which I didn't play too much of. Again, I'm not a big multiplayer guy. And then the Outbreak Zombies game though. Now, if you're a big DMZ guy, I'm sure you guys are gonna fall in love with Outbreak. Say goodbye to DMZ because now you guys are playing that, which most likely I think instead of AI is just gonna include zombies. I think in simpler terms, that's what it's going to be. I might touch up on that. I'm a big fan of zombies. I do it a lot with the boys and stuff like that. But now with the mix of zombies and actually players you can kill, I think this is a good balance. I'm not a fan of running around the map that I know and love, Al Mazrah. Well, not love, but I already know. And trying to get immersed into the tactical Sentinel DMZ experience when I could just run around the map on a battle royale and get 30 kills. But now with zombies being in the mix and maybe higher stakes and not just players and shooting bots that really just have aimbot, this might be a lot more fun, and Treyarch's going to be hopefully taking over that, which is likely to happen. So with that being said, we have a lot of fun stuff returning, and going down the list, you guys let me know in the comments what fan favorites you guys would like to see return from Warzone 1, things you would like to see or not see from Warzone 2. For me, you know, guns are a big part of it. Seeing great skins, movement is probably on my #1 list. And I would actually like to see a refreshment of your score streaks. Right now, UAVs like everything to find players and stuff like that. But imagine you get like 5 to 10 kills and you can call a dog. And now that dog will help you get kills, you know, like back in the day. Or like, I think that was in Ghost. Or, you know, you get a couple kills and you could call a Juggernaut in Rebirth. Like, I think score streaks should be introduced. There should be your base kill streaks like counter, UAV, mortar, P-strike, or maybe just 3 of those. And then you could select 1 kill streak you get, which over time, if I drop 30 kills in O, like, what's stopping me from getting a nuke? Like, why can't I get a nuke? And I'll wipe them at Resurgence map and I could get a win, right? I think kills should be a little bit more rewarded in the Resurgence community. Or, you know, you get 5 kills, you get a dog. Or you get 15 kills, you could get a Juggernaut. I think it'll promote players to get a lot better at the game. And on top of that, like, just have an overall better experience, something new, something refreshing. And, you know, looking at this gameplay, man, 30 kills, like right now I'd call in a nuke, right? Again, it could be adjusted. Maybe 30 is too little. Maybe you shoot it to 40 or 50, or maybe no nuke at all. Maybe just another kill streak. Maybe enemy AC 130 above. But looking at this gameplay, man, I found it, and I just honestly fell in love with the original Rebirth Island. And I'm excited though for Warzone 2.5 and what's to come. Let me know if there's anything that I maybe missed that you guys are excited about. But with the fluid movement coming in, hopefully a cleaner buy station and just overall better mechanics, I would love to see the return of some of these crazy end games. Just like you're about to see right now. You guys see I have 4 players remaining with 31 players, or 31 eliminations so far. The Owen was a great gun. And that's something SMGs don't have anymore, is ammo. For some reason, Call of Duty thinks it's a good idea to lower the ammo count. The MX9 is actually the meta right now, but I can't do a video on it because it's only good for 1 kill, then you have to reload because the max ammo you can hold is 32. So let's like lessen the attachments and tuning and get rid of that and just like make the importance of like bigger ammo. But just simplify it. I think Nick Merck said it best. Like once it gets overcomplicated, it just gets a little too crazy. But like look at this play right here. I'm able to go into zone, vibe out for a second. Not even that, like I could snake this a little bit, back up, and oh no, I'm out of place. No need to fear. I have a smoke to smoke the buy station, smoke my enemies, get who, you know, look how simple it is. 1, 2, get it done. Nowadays, you open it, gotta confirm, pick a category again. You gotta call. He said, she said, someone's doing a PDSW play at the edge of the zone. People are going far right for row. And this all happens with the movement and the mechanics in the game. And you're about to see me get my 1000th win. Make sure to drop a like and sub if you haven't already. We'll be covering a lot of leak news as well. Let me know what you guys think and enjoy this win.
Requesting my looking for prey. 1,000 wins! I'm flawless! 1,000 wins! I didn't die once! Turn me up! Wow! Yes! Yes! I didn't die once! I didn't die once! Oh my god! Oh my god!